Hi there, I'm Rebecca Radice with Rebecca Radice LLC and Imagine Wow, and I am here to talk to you today about something that is near and dear to my heart, social media strategies. See, this is what I get to do all day long. I work with customers, with clients, with businesses, large and small, entrepreneurs just like yourself, helping you put together a social media strategy that will really help you explode the results within your business. Because my guess is that just like my current clients, you found yourself wondering, why do some businesses succeed at social media while others fail miserably? Or maybe why does one company seem to make interacting online seem effortless? Well, I can tell you the one difference is a social media strategy. Because imagine if you could wake up every single day and know exactly where you should be spending your time online. And then imagine if you knew how to best track and measure exactly what your goals are and find yourself succeeding on a daily basis. Well, the good news is that's exactly why I'm here today. I am going to give you, over the next 15 minutes, 6 tactics you must absolutely do to create a solid social media strategy. Now, what I'm going to say might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, might sound even contradictory to what most social media professionals teach. My goal is to kick you out of your comfort zone on social media and help you make a few little tweaks, some shifts within your current online strategy that are going to create those massive results I was talking about. So, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and dive in with tactic number 1. You got to start with the most important, which is defining your goals. Because what are goals? They're really that fuel that propels your online efforts forward. They give a reason and a purpose to what you're doing on a daily basis, because otherwise what can feel like some time well spent actually ends up as those random acts of just hopping around social media. I mean, let me ask you a question. Think about it. When was the last time you were on Facebook? Probably this morning, right? Were you there with a mission? Were you actually there with a strategy and a plan? Or were you randomly logging in, you were liking, commenting, and sharing? My guess is that it was likely the latter of the two, and before you knew it, you lost your life to an hour of just a mindless Facebooking. Well, to avoid that syndrome, let's get really clear. I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Who are you looking to connect with? What type of content will you share? What are you trying to achieve, whether that's additional exposure, connections with potential clients, additional sales, whatever the case, I want you to write it down. How much time can you commit to managing your social media? Might be something you need to delegate or give away. And what does success look like to you? Now, my motto has always been that what doesn't get written down doesn't get done. So I want you to capture your goals in a way that you can review on a daily basis. That might be a Google Doc, it might be within Evernote, or maybe your Gmail calendar. No matter what, I want you to keep those goals right there in front of you. Your next step is to really stand out online. I want to make sure that you're leaving an indelible mark in the mind of your customer. You know, we all know in a social media world where it's kind of become a cookie cutter approach that the only way you can stand out is to create differentiation. And in my book, 10 Ways to Use Social Media to Virtually Crush the Competition, I share the key component that should always be at the top of your strategy. You know what it is? It's finding your one thing. Find that one thing and then share what sets you apart. What sets you apart from your competitors? And as I said, leaves that indelible mark in the mind of your potential clients. You're really going to have to find that. You're going to have to really identify what it is and then figure out how you can share that day in and day out. Your next step is to know your audience. Get inside the head of your audience, because in order to answer those questions above, you're going to have to understand who is it that you're speaking to on a daily basis. So as you go about your day on social media, I want to know, do you have a defined focus? Have you really gotten clear on who that target audience is that you're talking to? Because now is the time for you to dig in, do a little research, and never assume. You never want to assume you have the answers. So you're going to do some homework, get to know who that potential client or consumer is, and I want you to be super, super specific, because the better you can describe that individual who's eager to connect with your business, the more likely then it is that your message and your vision is going to capture their attention. And in order to stand out online, what do you have to do? Got to capture their attention, leave that indelible mark. So here you go. Here's a quick way to get inside the head of your target market. And if you're telling me that your target market is everybody or everyone, you're missing an enormous opportunity, because truthfully, the riches are in the niches. You've probably heard that saying before, and it's very, very true. So we're going to get a little nichey. We're going to try to figure out exactly who your market is. So first of all, what I want you to do is break down your top 3 target markets. Who are they? And then ask yourself, what problems do you solve? For example, maybe parents, like this couple here, are your target market. Now we're going to take a deeper dive and really take a look at, because of course parents in general isn't super nichey, who your actual target market is. So those 3 could look like maybe parents of teens, parents of newborns, maybe college, parents of college students. Obviously, all of those different target markets are very different, right? What they're focusing on, what their needs are, what challenges they face on a daily basis are considerably different. So know exactly what those needs are and find ways then to meet those needs in a very real and specific way on a daily basis. Your next step is to create a cross-platform strategy or an integrated strategy. Companies that I work with that are really succeeding at social media today, they know where their time is best spent. They also know that different demographic groups are using social media in very different ways, in very distinctive ways. So take the time to research and understand exactly how, when, and why your audience is using social media. I know a lot of people might tell you that you need to be everywhere. You need to be everything to everybody, and I'm going to completely disagree with that. I think you need to figure out where your customer, your potential client, is spending their time online, and then master the art of conversation across that social network. Because why spread yourself out, especially if you're a small business owner? I get it, you're busy, you have a lot going on within your world. It might not make sense for you to be on every social network. So figure out, are they on Facebook, Twitter, maybe Pinterest, Instagram, whatever it might be. Master the art of that social network. Get truly engaged with your audience across that social network, then move on. But until then, until you've actually mastered those top 2, maybe top 3, do whatever you can to repurpose all of your content. So if you're blogging, if you've got a website, if you've got content you're creating, create a cross-platform strategy that's going to support all of your marketing efforts and not cause you to have to constantly be out there creating new and unique content. The beauty in creating one piece of content is that it could turn into 15 or 20 different pieces of content, depending on whether it's a video, a slide share, whatever you might want to turn that into. So really think about how those efforts that you're working on a daily basis, can all work together synergistically to support one another. Your next step is to translate your established brand, because what you've probably done is already established your brand offline. Now you need to take that and translate that into a brand that really resonates with people, kind of like Starbucks. Of course, Starbucks, we all know them. They've done a fantastic job creating that seamless brand experience. Whether you walk into a store, whether you purchase something online, whether you're in a grocery store and you buy one of their products, you know what to expect. You know what you're going to get. You want to create that same experience for your potential clients online. So ask yourself a few questions. How does your brand make people feel? And how will that be seen, heard, and felt online? What is the purpose and what is the brand that you're really trying to create online? And how will your content extend the mission and vision of your brand? Because of course, as I've said, it's all got to tie together. And as I said, when we look at brands like Starbucks, Apple, even Harley Davidson, they've all gotten out of the heads and into the hearts of their audience. And that's exactly what I want you to be able to do. I want you to transcend that typical brand stereotype by clearly translating the essence of your brand. It's pretty exciting when you start to think about the possibilities. Your next step is to track and measure. Tracking and measuring your efforts really is the backbone of your social media strategy. But again, like I said, I know you're running a business. I know you're busy. So we're going to try to make this really, really easy on you. While social media can be very useful, and I hear it day in and day out, I also hear what an enormous time suck it can be if you don't pay attention to where your time is best spent. We talked a little bit about that already. But also, what are your efforts giving you? What is that ROI of your time spent online? And that's really where analysis comes in. You can leverage that information that you either find in Google Analytics, maybe Facebook Insights, your Google Plus dashboard, or any other third-party management tool. I use both Sprout Social and Buffer on a daily basis, and both of those offer just a wealth of information that you should be looking at least on a weekly basis to really determine what content is working, what content is not, and then adjust and modify, because again, that is the beauty of social media. You always have the opportunity to listen and respond in real time. The truth of the matter is, not everything's going to work. Not everything you throw out there is going to be gold, right? So the key is to identify what is really working, what is really resonating, and then do more of that. So here we go. Let's kind of recap what we just went through, your 6-step plan. I want you to first define your goals. Number 2, stand out online. Stop being a cookie cutter version of your competition. Number 3, do your research. Really understand your social audience. Number 4, get integrated. Integrate all your social channels. Number 5, translate your brand. Take your online presence, that extension of your brand, and create a seamless extension of that brand that you've worked so hard to build offline. And then finally, track and measure. Track, measure, analyze, and adjust. You should be looking at that on a monthly basis, just how you can best strategize, how you can best position your brand. To me, those are just incredible must-dos of your social media strategy. So your 6 steps plan, and now your assignment, your homework as it is, I'm going to give you 3 little simple steps that I want you to take all of those questions I just told you to ask yourself. And I want you to get really clear, really understand what your purpose is, what your mission is for using social media. Because if you don't know why you're using social media, you can't actually take advantage of it, can you? And if you don't know what success looks like to you, you're absolutely never going to get there. You're never going to meet your goals. Number 2, I want you to research. I want you to truly understand who you're talking to, who your audience is, and know how you're going to get inside their hearts, outside of their heads on a daily basis. And then number 3, I want you to plan to succeed, because if you don't plan, you're planning to fail. So put those steps in place. Make sure that whether it's you, maybe you have a team that supports you, whatever the case might be, put that plan in place and make sure that you've got everything spelled out. So what are your objectives, your KPIs? What are those goals you're trying to meet every single day? And then how are you going to manage that? What does your dashboard on a daily basis look like? How are you going to make it easy on yourself to get those tasks done? Because that is really, at the end of the day, what it's all about. You've got a lot to juggle, and you've got to figure out a way that it just works into your day without it feeling like it's heavy, like it's overwhelming, because of course what's overwhelming, it's not sustainable and it's not going to get done. And that's exactly what we want to do away with. So your next step is, and I would just love it if you felt like you took one thing away today that challenged, maybe inspired you to get better at social media. Then let's take that next step together. I have teamed up with a group of just incredible experts to create a community that supports you in your online success. You can join me for a free webinar. It's going to take every piece that we've talked about today and so much more. Everything from social networking to content creation to content marketing, engagement, measurement, all of that. We're going to show you how to build a solid foundation that really supports that massive growth we've talked so much about. Hop over to socialsuccessacademy.com, or of course I'd love to connect with you across social media or on my website, RebeccaRadice.com. You can find me on Twitter, Google+, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, at Rebecca Radice. It's where you will find me, no matter where you're interested in connecting. Until then, I look forward to hearing from you and taking that next step with you.